So let's begin, and maybe some people will trickle in.
Yeah.
So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the concept of the unified field. And I wanted to maybe you probably all know Rumi, one of my favorite poets. And one of the things that he said, one of the quotes that I've always loved is out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there.
Mm.
This is talking about how we judge everything. And that's just kind of our human nature is judging. But when we practice meditation and mindfulness, we can become aware of how we judge everything around us, and then we can change that judgment to compassion. And one of the things that I did when I was in the Vipassana retreat, the 10-day Vipassana retreat, we were told to eat in silence, move in silence. We couldn't talk for 10 days at all. And so here we are with our eyes looking out and we're going in, but when we're eating or moving around, we're looking out because our eyes are open. And it made me so aware of how much I judged people. I don't anymore because I've become aware of it. But I was sitting there eating my food and I'm trying to stay within and just observe how the food tastes and the texture of the food. But then I'd look out through my two eyes and I'd be like, oh, her socks are funny. Oh, she has a nice butt. Like, I can't even, like, it's not even like, it just comes to my head, oh, she looks like a librarian. And I was just observing how I couldn't stop the judgment when I was looking out in the world. So when it just becomes an awareness of noticing when you look out through your eyes to remind yourself not to judge everything, just send compassion, loving compassion. But it's also good to know, to be aware of how we do that. Like even without even trying, just the thoughts just come in like judging, and we judge ourselves all the time until we master our thoughts. So, how many times this is part of the mindfulness practice is noticing how many times you actually say to yourself, oh, that was stupid. Oh, what an idiot I am. And people say this all the time out loud, they say it in their head, and it really poisons our inner waters. So, noticing how often we say that, I'm just curious, have either of you noticed how you say that to yourself? It's changing that thought to it's okay. It's okay. You're not stupid. Like really take care of yourself by loving yourself and saying, "No, you're not stupid. You made a mistake. It's okay. It's okay. Just keep going. Don't you can make it better or you can resolve this issue." And the other thing about the unified field is we actually have access to the unified field in our dream state, but also in our knowing state. Here we are, three Aquarians. Surprise, surprise. Denise is an Aquarian, Elizabeth's Aquarian, I'm Aquarian. And the thing about Aquarians is we just know things. And that's one of our gifts, right? We just have a knowing about things. But there are times when we don't know what the answer is. And one of my favorite anecdotes of this access to the unified field is they were doing a peace walk in New York City. And I knew a lot of people in the peace walk. It was anti-nuclear and for walking for peace. And it was a lot of people that I had been with in the Sacred Run in my film, my documentary film. And after the peace walk, half the people wanted to go north to the Peace Pagoda, which was just a couple of hours away. And I would have loved to have gone there. And then half the people were going to the animal spirit healing ceremony in the south. Well, I didn't really want to drive all the way down to Virginia, because it was whatever, 6, 7 hour drive. But I felt pulled because I'd never been to an animal spirit healing ceremony, and half my friends were going, including Dennis Banks, who was the leader of the Sacred Run film that I made. So I said to Jonathan, I have no idea whether I'm going north or south, but I'm going to ask for a dream when I go to sleep. So that night I asked for a dream, and I dreamt that I was on a bus to Georgia. Well, I know Georgia's south. It's not where where the healing ceremony is. In fact, Georgia was 10 hours south, and I didn't even know that at the time. But I said, well, my dream said I'm going south. So I'm going to drive south to Virginia. And when I got there, the first person I met, I said, hello, where are you from? They said, Georgia. I asked the second person, where are you from? Georgia. The third person and the fourth person and the fifth person were all from Georgia. And then I found out that the animal spirit healing ceremony, the people who were doing it, leading it, were all from Georgia. Now, how did I didn't know that. My thinking brain had no idea. I just thought it was in Virginia. I didn't know where they were from. So, this is the kind of access that we have. Somehow my soul knew that that's where I need, and somehow my soul knew that they were from Georgia, but how, I didn't know that. So that's interesting. And I was guided to go south. And it was an amazing ceremony where people put on bear skins, and I did a lot of healing, and they hugged me, and they went around me. It was really interesting. And I did a lot of deep healing there. So the more you meditate, the more you create this connection to your soul consciousness, which is connected to the unified field. And the other thing that I wanted to share is that we are becoming, evolving as luminous beings. And the more we become aware of the this evolution that we're in, and we can change our state by filling ourselves with light. Now, the yesterday we did the chakra meditation where we lit up the lotus flowers for each center. And Elizabeth, you were there. Denise, you missed that, but I'll be putting that as a replay. But you can perceive the light within your body. You can perceive the light coming in. You're drinking it from the root, and you can visualize yourself with light. And we can send light to each other. Elizabeth is studying Reiki as well. I'm a Reiki master as well, and we can send light to each other. And the solar flares that there's been an increase in solar flares, and these solar flares are actually giving us more light. And we're in this huge, I think we're in a spiritual revolution. Hopefully it won't be a bloody one. We're definitely in revolutionary times as both Aquarians, that's the energy of Aquarian energy. We're in the Aquarian age for 2,400 years now. Pluto's in Aquarius for 20 years. So there's a revolution in response to the current dictatorship that's being formed. And, anytime power becomes too accrued in the few people, there's a response from the mass. So we'll see how that goes. But it's important to remember to be the light, because we need people to feel safe. And when we embody our light, we become a safe beacon for people to follow or come to. And a lot of people are in fear right now. And, we can experience it too, but don't dwell there, right? Allow it to acknowledge it, but not to dwell there. So to begin today, oh, and I wanted to share just another mudra. So the first day we did this mudra. The second day we did this mudra. And then today we're going to do the dhyana mudra, which I'll show you a picture. It's basically, I'll instruct you how to do it. It's contemplation. It's a very restful pose. So the left hand goes on your lap. I'll just pretend this is my lap up here. And then the right hand goes on top. And then the two index fingers come up and the thumb touches. So it's like this. So if you don't want to do it, you can do it just the way we did it before or like that. This is for the solar plexus. And we're going to begin with a sound meditation through each of the chakras, because in the beginning there was sound and sound creates form, right? Just like if you know about the cymatics. Have either of you, do you know about cymatics? Raise your hand if you know about cymatics. So cymatics is an experiment where it's like a really old experiment where they sent sound, they put sand on this flat board that was like a vibrational plate. And then when the sound is directed to the plate or sent to the plate, the sand would make formations. So that's ringing a bell, right? We probably learned about this in high school or at some point in our lives, right? So it's very important to um, clear your sound, make sure each chakra is in alignment, and sound is one of the most powerful ways, as well as meditation. So we'll begin with 7 minutes. Yes.
Just before you start, can I see the mudra again,
Yes. So
please?
yeah, let me just take off the
I can't tell too much from that picture. I can see better from
okay,
your
well
hand.
I'll describe it better, okay? So
Yeah.
your left hand, imagine this is my lap, so it looks backwards,
So
but
left hand.
left hand is on your lap. The
Okay.
right hand, the back of the right hand goes on top of the left hand. So
Okay.
the right is
Okay.
on the top. Then you bend your index fingers up, and
Up.
then your thumbs meet to touch. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh,
your
and then they meet the index. Okay.
yeah, your thumbs touch the index.
Okay. I think I got it now. Thank you.
Woo, it looks like glasses.
Yeah. I got it now. Thank you, Andrea.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to put you on mute, Denise, so when we do this sound, there won't be any echo. So we're going to go and this today, I'm going to send Reiki at different points during the meditation. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm just going to just know that there is some Reiki coming at some point. So just tune in to how, the energy and how it feels, and just we're going to talk about it after, and let me know if at one point you had a feeling of difference, like something changed. And I'm not even going to describe what Reiki can feel like, but Elizabeth, you already know. And Denise, do you practice Reiki, Denise? Yeah. Okay. So you both know. But it'll be interesting to see if you perceive it we're going to meditate for 25 minutes. And the first 7 minutes will be the sound. So I invite you to really, um, use your full voice to make the sound for each chakra. And then we're going to go into the silent meditation. And then during that time, I'll send Reiki. At the end, we'll finish with 3 ohms. And Denise, I was saying, I like to divide the in a equal parts, so it's spread out because each sound is a frequency for a different chakra, and rather than just um and then we'll have time for to share or any questions. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and make sure I pull up the YouTube. Okay. Right. So before we go into meditation, just give me a thumbs up so I know you hear the sound once it's starting. Wait, I need to make this smaller. Okay. Share sound. Share. Now. Do you hear the sound? Okay, great. All right, now closing your eyes. Doing the mudra. We're going to begin with the root chakra.
First chakra. The vowel sound is
Breathing in. Breathing out.
second chakra. The vowel sound is oo. Breathing in and out. Third chakra. The vowel sound is O. Fourth chakra. The vowel sound is ah. Fifth chakra. The vowel sound is I. Sixth chakra. The vowel sound is A. Seventh chakra. The vowel sound is E.
Now you're going to sing for the next 17 minutes in silence. Take a nice long deep breath in through your nose. We're going to do the alms now. May all beings be free of suffering. May all beings awaken to their true nature, and may peace and love prevail. Rubbing your hands together and gently rubbing your head as though you're washing your face, just waking up to this. All right. So I'd love to hear how how you experienced, or any questions, any reflections, insights. You're speechless. Go ahead, Denise. You're still mute. Still mute.
Unmute.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I enjoyed it. It was good. I mean, I have to admit, I don't have an easy time with meditation. It's something I, struggle with, but I did enjoy it. Actually, I've been studying. I'm on a course for meditation with, I don't know if you know Yogananda, SRF, self-realization. So partway through the meditation, I started to do one of the mantras that he taught. So that, yeah, it was good, because I had tried to do it before joining your session, and then partway through I started to do that. I found I got a little bit restless. Maybe I've been sitting too long this morning, but I do have a hard time with it. So any suggestions you have would be appreciative. This is why I joined today, to be with other people, and I think that it's a better, it helps.
Well, thank you. Did you want to say something else, or?
No, just I struggle with it. So any suggestions?
Yeah. Well, it's natural to struggle with it, because the monkey mind always wants to have a thought, and the thought come in, and thought, they just come and go. It's just the nature of the mind. Having a mantra, I did also teach a mantra in what was it? Yeah, 2 days ago, I guess it was. Having a mantra helps you focus, because you can focus on the sound in your head.
Right.
And then also, one of the things that I use as a tool is, I was explaining in the other classes, that each thought is like a train that's coming. So a thought train comes and goes, a thought train, another one comes. They're always coming and going, and thought trains. And instead of allowing the mind to follow the thought train, as soon as you notice that your mind is following the thought train, you go thinking, 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 breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Just saying breathe in, breathe out, or thinking, 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 breathe in, breathe out. So it's training. It takes training, because it's easy to get caught on the thought train, because it's more interesting than just this emptiness. And our mind gets caught up in the thought. And it can be a great thought. So you're like, oh, this is a great thought. Or it can be a negative thought too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've experienced when um like I bought a ring in Mexico and I really loved it. And I really couldn't afford it, but I bought it anyways because I really wanted it. And they gave me a good deal. And then I lost it like 24
Oh,
hours later. And I was like so mad at myself. And it was like a hook. It's like, oh my God, I lost the ring. Went and I kept texting the lady, did you find the ring? Did you find the ring? And I had to let go because I could
wow.
drive myself crazy and beating myself up. What an idiot. I shouldn't have bought that. And it just was a loop. It was going on a loop. But eventually I had to surrender the ring and just let it go. It's gone. There's
Wow.
nothing I can do.
That's crazy.
I know. It was whatever. It's gone. So I can't make it come back. So, but those are the hooks that we get, we beat ourselves up or we get hooked into a dynamic in a relationship or what somebody said. And it just goes on and on and on. We play it in our mind. Oh, I should have said that or wish that, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that's another good thing to just say is blah, 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 blah. Because if you notice a thought coming in your head, you can just say blah, 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 breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, coming back to the center. But instead of focusing on the thought train, you focus your mind, in that blurred, the train becomes a blur. It just comes and goes and becomes a blur. The other tool that I use that I've shared in this class the other days is the concept of the image of the waves coming in and waves going out. And I love that because it's a very calming feeling. And you can, as you breathe in, because if you do the ujjayi breath, it's almost like you can imagine the ujjayi breath is the sound of the waves. Waves come in as you breathe in, and waves ebb out as you blow out. So those are some little tools. You could try some of those things.
Okay.
But the main thing is just to keep focusing on the breath in, breath out, or notice, oh, I'm feeling tingling in my right elbow. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Just noticing the sensations. But as soon as you get caught in that, return to the breathe in, breathe out, which is Vipassana meditation.
And it's really important just to practice too, right?
Oh, yeah, daily. I mean, ideally twice a day.
Yeah, because I'm on this course, I'm pretty good about it. But I
Yeah.
don't want to do it, but I do it.
Well, you don't want to do it because it's not comfortable and it's not
Yeah.
easy.
Does it
But
get better?
oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I've been meditating for over 40 years and I don't my mind does not I get into that state very quickly now. Occasionally a thought comes and goes, but the thoughts are not dominating my meditation.
But
It's
you
more.
enjoy it now and it's easy.
Oh, it's like drinking manna. It's like
Okay.
so beautiful. I love meditating. It's not a struggle for me anymore. It's
I've
just
I've probably been meditating a really long time, but I haven't gotten to that point, which is why I joined this course.
yeah.
Uh,
Well,
you know you know Yogananda, right?
yes, of course. I read something from Yogananda and I'm actually offering a course, an 8-week course
Ah,
starting in 2 weeks. So it'll be 8 weeks of an hour each time.
okay. Check that.
Um, so I'm curious about when I was sending Reiki, Elizabeth, did you feel any changes? I'm curious if you notice anything.
Well, I was thinking of how you said that in Japan that hit you on the back if you weren't sitting straight, but gently, I was feeling like a pull, like I ever since I had cancer and stuff, I tend to get hunched over really easily, like my ear, my
Yeah.
I have to remember shoulders back, but sort of there was a gentle push to correct my alignment.
Oh.
That's
I
great. That's great. And did either of you feel any waves of Reiki?
I may have. I would say it was maybe towards, like I may have. I just can't be like definite about it.
Mhm. Well, it's subtle. Energy is attuning the awareness of energy is a subtle. It's a subtle energy, right? It's an etheric energy, so it's not like it's the whack on the back. It's very subtle.
I
Gently,
probably
gently.
I probably did, because at one point I remember, like maybe in the last quarter of the meditation, I was saying, "Oh yeah, Reiki, Reiki," like something.
Right. How about you, Elizabeth? Did you notice it at any
That's what
point?
I figured you were sending me Reiki, and that was
Okay, so
correcting
that's
my
what you
posture.
sent. Yeah. So I
I mean, but I
sent,
don't know because I had my eyes closed, so I wouldn't know.
yeah, well, I wanted you to keep your eyes closed and just see if you could perceive it. And so maybe so I sent it around the 14-minute mark for about 5 minutes.
Okay, so that would have been about when.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then I stopped and then I sent it again in the last few minutes.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I think I did feel something at those two. Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. is
Oh, yeah.
the last day of the 5-day series, but you can always go back and listen to the replays. And yeah, and I'll be speaking more about the 8-week class tomorrow as well. And you'll be hearing from me if you can't make it.